Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday, the 5th of January. Of course, it's non-farm payrolls today, so things could be quieter this morning. We have seen some movement in these markets. I'll go through them in a moment. There's some reasonable, on some of the markets, pretty decent movement. Today, though, as I say, we've got non-farms coming out. It's just run into other data out this morning. So we've got some Eurozone data there, less significant construction PMI out at 9:30. Side of that then, okay, yep, it's all down to the employment data that's due out there at 1:30, and that's going to be the big mover. We have got the Canadian and US data out today, so watch out if you're trading US CAD. You could get a double whammy or a complete mess. Whatever's there, but that's pretty much it. We have got some services data out at 3 o'clock in the US, which again might, in the current sort of conditions, create some volatility. And we've got a Fed speaker there at 6:30, but we'll probably be done and dusted by then for a Friday. Anyway, let's look at these markets and look at them technically first. And well, starts off with this euro dollar, and it's looking like it's rolling back a little this morning. It's well, it didn't make much headway yesterday at all. It sort of started up, it pushed up until about 10 o'clock, and then well, pretty much went sideward. This is more, I'm quite used to this at this time of year. This first week back into part week back into the trading, and we often see sort of less direction. However, we have had some good movements in the market, so I wouldn't discount everything. With this though, for now, I think well, traders might be sitting there waiting for the non-farms. It has moved off through the Asian session here, moved down a little bit further, and does look soft from where it is. The pivots are you can see how tight the pivots are pinched relative to a more normal day. You've got this sort of tight day yesterday, and again today with little real movement there. So for me, the euro, probably, as much as I could see the potential for it continuing its downward overall bigger downward trend it started, more intermediate really, a trend I should say. It certainly, from that point of view, looks like it could be good for the quarterly pivot, but we'll see. But for today, it could be a bit of waiting, get that non-farms out of the way. The pound dollar, well, this has gone really sort of consolidated, I think is the better phase. This is a 4-hour picture, so we can see this week to date. It drops off on Monday. It's held up better than the likes of the euro. I drew the trend on earlier on Tuesday there, or Wednesday. Get my days sorted. So drew the trend line on there, didn't break on from that. And well, it hasn't broken really, it's holding up pretty well. So if we're looking at one of the currencies that are likely to push from European terms, maybe the pound could push up quicker, continue its route. Dollar yen is still looking very, very soft. From the yen's point of view, that is. The dollar is showing its strength here, pushing up at quite some pace. It's pushed through its quarterly pivot now. Sorry, I'll just come back there. Where is it in relation? This yearly pivot's right below here. So yeah, it's done its quarterly, and it doesn't look like it's putting the brakes on too much at the moment. Maybe it's running to the daily R1 there without catching the pivot, but that could just see us running through to the R2. At this stage, if it's normal trading, I'd be looking at that and thinking, well, yep, it's got the scope to do so, but we've got non-farms out later. That could be causing the problem. Aussie dollar looks one of the better ones yesterday for the downside. When we were looking at it in the morning, well, it caught that downside and sold off here. There we go. So it did break down later, went all the way down, hit the S1. That's what the pattern was showing. It's done that. It could have some further downside. You look at the size of this sort of bigger flag that was possibly in play. I'm questionable whether it was a flag in the sense of this movement here, but if we was to look at the whole move, well, it could have more movement in play, but certainly it's gone a bit choppy at the moment and lacks clarity in terms of this short-term movement. Bigger term, well, just still looking at a little bit softer. We could see this running through into next week, this softness now, it seems. Would obviously depend on non-farm payrolls. US dollar CAD, the CAD, well, it looked like it was going to be holding there into the monthly. It's just still short of its yearly. It could be coming up for that yet, and maybe even more. Knocking on the door of its weekly at R3, but the pivots are so pinched. That quarterly pivot sits above there, could all be a draw. And well, yesterday again, drew the line earlier on. It broke through there at 11ish in the end, but it had already hit as I mentioned yesterday, it had already hit the S1, so the S1 and the R1 in the same day. The probability is not very good, and it certainly didn't do it yesterday, but it is looking like, if you're looking more swingy ways, it looks like it could have more legs in it. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, again, soft price action here, not quite as soft as the Aussie seems to be running down that a little bit easier out of the two at the moment, but again, it's in that sort of no man's land for me. Other pairs, yesterday we saw the euro yen take off. It put a couple of patterns in. It started off quite nicely with a shape back into the pivot earlier on, but it had gone by our session, to be fair, but it did break on through and solidly pushed up. There was a signal there, but my signal is off this week because I don't switch it back on until next Monday. But it did catch a good move there. The euro pound here, well, don't know why we're really looking at this, although it is heading southbound again and looking that bit softer. Maybe we're in a better trend here. As we can see that against the dollar, the pound's holding up better. The euro is just softening off here. It's coming down quite bitty on the hourlies here. Yesterday, horrible little dance, but bigger picture, well, could have further downside. But as I say, we've got news later. It's probably best leaving many of these. Euro CAD, a play I often get hold of, or trader I like to be in, is still sitting in this consolidation phase. It's a bit nothing at the moment. It's sitting into the 50 there. So, okay, you can see the general pattern here. There's lots of very iffy looking charts at the moment in terms of lack of setups. As I said, this could be down to the non-farm payrolls. We'll see. Side of the Forex markets, real quick look then at. We'll take a look at gold first, and we'll take the bigger picture. Yep, we're not really doing too much at the moment. It sold off on Wednesday there. Yesterday, bullish Harami sort of pattern sitting there within, but really not doing too much here at this stage. Again, non-farm payrolls will probably shape that one up one way or t'other, at least for a spell. S&P's still coming off here at the moment. The equity market's just looking a bit softer. There's just concerns. I think well, there's a number of things that sort of would have got into the rally at the end of last year, and it is a case of greed and everything else, and it has got extended in many ways. So probably not a great surprise here. Profit taking coming in, uncertainty of interest rates now because of the more hawkish sort of tone that's been set compared to the very dovish tone that was there in after the December Fed meeting. Anyway, this, as I say, this at the moment it looks like it's got some further downside. I don't normally look at the equity markets when they're been pushing up quite so much and say they look soft, but it's put the lower highs, lower lows on the intermediate time frames, and it looks soft. Okay, the other markets, just have a quick look at close to home DAX. the DAX this morning, okay, coming off, had a okayish day yesterday, held up, but this again looks soft to me today. We could just see a continuation. It's already through down to its daily S1, looking pretty soft there. It's put a lower high in, that's been confirmed now, and yep, at the moment looking soft. Right, I'm going to leave things there. Oh, actually I won't leave it completely there. One last thing to look at there, Bitcoin. Haven't mentioned it for a few days, and well, it made some new highs into this new year, but well, it's okay. It's holding on there. It's still in this consolidation zone. It's, you know, it could yet get another leg up there the way it's shaping up. It was looking into December like, well, at some stage it might roll back further, but it's holding up pretty well, and well, we'll see. There's still hope, I suppose. The news will be good. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I wish you a great weekend if I don't speak to you before. Otherwise, if you want to come and join me in the room, there is a link on the bottom of the YouTube video, and I'll see you later this morning. Okay, take care. Have a great one. Bye for now.